Welcome to the We Are Beautiful show, where your voices will be heard with your hosts, Irene Pro and Karen Thomas. We are broadcasting live at Bold Radio, so grab your choice of beverage and let's be heard. Now, here's Irene and Karen.
Good afternoon, Bold Radio Station listeners. Welcome to another edition of We Are Beautiful Magazine radio show with Karen Thomas and
Irene Pro. Welcome.
And here we are on a dreary day. I don't know if it's dreary where you are, but hopefully everybody listening is having a wonderful day despite any cloudy weather or any snowy weather or any rainy weather, because a lot of our listeners around the globe are in warm spots that Irene and I wish we were in.
Oh, definitely.
I know. I love winter. I am definitely a winter person. I love snow. I love a foot of snow. And we got last week, for those of you who are not aware, in Connecticut, and you got a little bit in New Jersey, we got a huge amount of snow.
Not as much as you, but I'm telling you, the temperatures have been in the low 20s this whole week. And I have snow, ice. My dogs love it, but...
Yes, it's great for the dog, especially your dogs, your huskies, who are like born for snow, right?
Yes.
So exactly. But, I love the snow. But what I don't like are, kind of like days like today where it's a little dreary out. The sun's not out, and it's, I love the snow part, but I mean, it's so gloomy. But you know what? That does not stop us from bringing you a fabulous, fabulous show. And we've got a lot of great guests coming up. But today we have a fabulous guest who both Irene and I had the pleasure of meeting with. I've met with her several times, but Irene got to meet her when she came up from New Jersey. And we have a wonderful guest with us today. Her name is Tina Kadish, and she is with Life is Ideal. And she is going to tell us a little bit about her profession, what she does, and how she is absolutely stunningly beautiful with what she does with her business. So welcome, Tina.
Thank you, Irene and Karen. It's an honor to be on your show.
Well, it is a pleasure to have you, and we welcome you here today. And what we do here, as you know, we have the motto of "We are beautiful." And with that motto, it is not talking about beauty being, facial or anything like that. It's about just being beautiful as yourself in what you do, in what you project, and way more than skin deep. And, we feel that our guests so much to offer to all of our listeners out there in wonderful radio land at Bold Radio Station. And when I saw Irene and we planned our guests, I said, we have to have Tina. And I'm so glad you could join us today. So Tina, please tell us a little bit about your business and what you do.
Okay, thank you. So my business is called Life is Ideal, and what I do for people is I help individuals discover their passions. And I began my journey back in 2003 when I got laid off from corporate America in training and development. And I found myself in transition, and never being laid off, I just didn't know where I should focus on in my next career move. So through my networking, I came across a tool called the Passion Test. And this Passion Test tool helps you to discover your passions, really get that clarity and focus on what direction you want to take in your life. Because too many of us working Americans are not happy with what they're doing. They're not loving. They're not getting excited every day and doing what they love. So when I came across this, I said, wow, I need to be doing something that I really love, but I don't know what it is. I love training and development. One thing I do love is I love being in front of people and really making a difference in someone's life. So I went and embarked on a journey to get certified as a passion test facilitator. And
I love it.
This tool gives you that clarity and focus. So how it helped me is that I got the clarity that I wanted to be a full-time entrepreneur, helping others to really get that clarity and focus and, really move in that direction of really identifying their purpose. living a
See,
life.
and this is, yes, and see, this is key. And I love how you said a lot of people are waking up and they go to their job. And I'm often careful when I speak about what I do, because I don't, well, you know what, and Irene, you as well. I mean, we don't wake up and say I go to this job. I often say I have a career. And the reason I choose that word career is because I love what I do. And you know what? It's so unfortunate, Tina, that a lot of people don't like what they're doing. And you know what? They don't know what to do about it, and what you're providing, and what you are doing, and going and chasing after this dream and this endeavor, is you're helping people to find the missing link that they didn't know maybe existed out there.
Exactly. Absolutely. And that's really so important. And I want to share the message to others that, if you're in transition right now, you don't know where you want to be, or you're stuck in a job, and you just don't know what to do. That's where this can help you. This is where I can help you to get that clarity and really focus. Because where we put our attention grows.
Yes. And it also helps us in our personal life as well as our professional life. Not just, if you're happy in one, you're usually happy in the other, because they all culminate together, correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So yeah, this tool is not just for business. Absolutely. It's really for your personally, really knowing what you want to do, what you love to do, and really getting that clarity.
Well, walk me a little bit through your process, and not the whole thing. Just, give me a snippet of this process, because I had recently written something that will be in our March issue about coming full circle, because I came from corporate America, yes, as an art director for some major powerhouse magazines. And I lived there, and I loved what I did. And I had no problem living there 24/7, because I loved what I did. And I gave that up and went into a different field, went into marketing, sales, and I loved that as well. And it took me a while to come full circle. And then, 3 years ago, I opened up We Are Beautiful magazine. And today we have 5 magazines, because my passion is my magazine. It's like my child. So when I speak and I see a lot of women today who they don't know what they want. They come and they say, well, I'm a coach. Okay. Well, what do you coach? Well, I'm a coach. It's like, okay, I understand you're a coach, but tell me what you're coaching. They still don't have a passion. They're great. They're bubbly. They're wonderful to interact. But it's like, okay, tell me what you're coaching. Tell me what you're here to help me fix and resolve moving forward. So that's why I'm curious to see, because there's plenty of women out there who could use your services. And even though they're in business, they still need your services and your tools that you offer. So just walk me through a little snippet of that.
Okay. So when I meet with someone, first I ask them a lot of questions of, what are some of their challenges? What are they going through? Really things like that. So I really kind of get, through a discovery session, about a 30-minute discovery session, to really understand where they're coming from. So we meet, let's say she wants to work with me. This passion test, the first thing we do is they make a list of answering this statement. When my life is ideal, I am. And you list about 15 items. Nice. In everything in a positive sense, in the present tense, everything positive. So for example, when my life is ideal, I am owning a home facing the ocean.
Okay.
Or you list everything positive, and in all areas of your life, career, relationships, spiritual, your environment, all different categories of your life. And through my facilitation, we narrow down the 15 by asking them 3 questions, and it's through a process of elimination that we come down to 5.
Okay.
And those 5 are where we are now focusing on and we talk about markers like signs. What are signs that you're really living your life with passion? Because sometimes, we put these things down, but are you really living it? How do you know that you're living those passions? What are some of the markers? I also go through limiting beliefs, because as part of my facilitation, there's beliefs that people have that prevent them.
And it's usually negative beliefs. Is that correct?
It is negative beliefs. False, they have these beliefs, these ideas, these concepts that are just preventing them from living a life on passion. I mean, one of the things that someone will say to me is, well, I'll never get that. I don't have the money to do this business. I love baking, but I can't own a bakery because I don't have the money.
Yes,
limiting belief.
I need to send my husband to you.
That's a major issue that prevents us. And let me tell you, I'm one of them. I've been one of them talking that way in the past.
Well,
Yeah,
I have a lot of people who say that, and who I know that limits them to say, I don't have it, so therefore, period, and they're done. They're done, and that's it, because they just don't have the money. And see, this is huge. So, tell us more.
So when they get the 5 passions identified, then we have them write a whole page called a passion page, where what their life would look like with all of these things. Okay. So, for example, when I did my test, and I recommend people do this every 6 to 12 months, because our life changes. So, and you write these 5 passions on index cards, and you have them with you in all these areas. Like, I have a card in my car, I have one in my computer, I have another one in my wallet that really has the 5 passions. And one of my 5 passions is, I want to transform women's lives all over the world. I want to have a radio show. It's one of my passions. And I've done things like that.
Come on, bold.
I know. I mean, it's like, it's funny, when I've been a recipient on radio interviews, and I've done a weekly show where I've had a co-host and I've had guests, so kind of a snippet of it. And so I wrote these 5 things. I want to be a full-time entrepreneur, transforming women's life with their career and health, because I'm also help people with their health as well. And so when people walk away with these 5, it gives them that clarity, and this is what I need to focus on and putting your attention on, because there's a formula, 3 steps.
Okay.
It's intention. So we have to create our intentions. We're designing our life. Okay. And then attention is what you're putting your focus on, what you're putting, attention on. And no tension is the 3rd piece, which means letting go. So when we're writing these 5 things down, we are focusing on these 5, but we're also letting go. That's saying, you know what? It's going to happen. We're going to be manifesting. It's where we're putting our thoughts. The law of attraction, if you're familiar with that.
Yes.
We manifest a lot of things in our life by our thoughts.
Yes.
So, and every day when I wake up, you can set an intention just for the day. You can set an intention for just this half-hour interview is what we're doing. So these 5 do come from the 15 that we're narrowing it down to questions like, if you had this and you didn't have this, which is more important? So you're narrowing it down from 15 to 5. Now, that doesn't mean that the other 10 are not important. It's those other 10 may not be in the top of the list or not as important, okay?
Right.
But some of them could be integrated in your 5. So they could be a marker. They could be a sign that you are living your life with passion. So you're not giving them up. Sometimes people feel like they're giving up the other 10 and they just have these 5.
Right.
So
but no, you have to narrow them. You can't just be like running around.
Narrow it.
Right.
Right.
So basically you're forcing them to move forward in a direction and keep moving forward in a direction. And
yes.
And that's great. That's because you're helping them move forward in their business and just move forward, work it through instead of, and we all have a tendency to do that, misbelief. And I think you also help them believe in themselves. Is that correct?
Yes. So I go through as part of it's a 3 hour session that I do one-on-one with people, or I have also done workshops because we go through a whole limiting beliefs piece as well. And that's part of this whole passion test, because the limiting beliefs prevent us. So if you don't have the belief that you can do these, you're not gonna manifest them. They're not gonna come true.
Right.
So
right.
that's a big piece, is the mindset piece. That whole belief system that people have is huge.
It is. That's fantastic.
It really is. It really is. So that's a piece of the process. And what I also do is, when people discover their 5 passions, I can help them. If they want to explore entrepreneurship, for example, I help them grow their business. I have a program called Money Power. I became a certified Money Power coach, where I help an entrepreneur grow their business using 5 strategies. And the first strategy is mindset, money mindset, getting your money beliefs really clear, and really improving that relationship with money. Because I myself, like I was saying, I grew up in a negative household. Money. It was always a fear of never having enough
You're
money.
describing me. Yep.
That's how I grew up. Fear, the scarcity mindset, the scarcity mindset.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's really my process of how I get people that clarity. It is done, like I said, in a 3-hour session that I work with people.
Okay.
And
that's fantastic. I mean, but you also work with them beyond those 3 hours. Is that correct?
Yes.
With some of okay. Yes. So I just want everybody to know, it's not just a 3-hour miracle. It's a lot more than that.
Well, it's not like Gilligan's Island, a 3-hour tour and you're off and now, she waved your magic wand. But that's good to know, because I think in those 3 hours there, what you're describing is that you really are digging down deep into where you're going. I think a lot of times some people are hesitant to either hire a coach or work with somebody in something, in an endeavor like this, because they're afraid that they're just, and again, we go back to the money mindset, but throwing their money away, they're not going to get anything out of it. But to me, what you're saying, this 3 hours really digs down deep, and it gives them clarity into where you're going to be going next, and which will only benefit them.
Exactly. No, you do walk away with that. And when I work with someone, in my discovery session, I've said to people, I've turned people away if it's not a right fit. I'm not a coach like some others that I've had that are really about the money, and they just want to get you as a client.
Yes.
And they're really not really there to help you. I want to help you, but of course, at the end of the day, do you want to get help? Are you ready to make a decision to move forward? Because it does begin with the decision. You have to be ready. The timing has to be there for that person.
Right. Because if it's not, it doesn't work. It just doesn't jive.
And your client also has to be willing to work it. And that's what I'm finding is more and more, you have a great solution. And I really want people to listen to this. But you have to have the mindset to move forward. You have to dive in with your passion, because you can give them all the tools, but if they're not going to work with you with those tools, then it's not going to work for you.
Right.
No.
And it's very, very important because some people are like, you are giving them the tools, you are working with them on the tools, but they also need to work at it as well. A lot of women that I speak to, it's like, oh, well, I'm taking this course and I'm going to be ready to go. And, you come back, not your course, it's another course. And they're like,
now what? They're like, now what? And
they walk out scratching, and sorry guys, their ass and their head saying, what do I do now?
And it's hard, but I mean, just too with Tina and meeting her, and I know, and seeing her several times and engaging back and forth, and of the times that we've been in each other's company, Tina has I don't know, an aura about her that makes you want to open up to her and speak with her. And
Oh, I know. I know when
I
I
mean,
met
well, you know, because you met her as well. But I mean,
when I met Tina, it was like I kept eyeing her across the room. She was talking with everybody else, and then I finally got her.
right,
And
right,
I was like, okay. And Karen, you know, I've mentioned her. I follow her on Facebook,
right.
social media, and it's like I need to get her in the magazine. And now then and when you said I was like so happy. I was so excited. And I was
Well,
so
thank
looking,
you.
Well,
you
no,
know,
because again, this is what makes the radio show great is talking to. It's not Irene and I. We are just kind of like the platform or the stage, so to speak, but bringing in guests who are inspiring, who are beautiful with what they do, how they project themselves, and just the person that they are. And it's people like you, Tina, that really are helping the world become a much better place, and I'm going to throw this in, a much more civil place, which I know civility is such a big problem and issue, and it's very prevalent in society and now. But I mean, seriously. So now before we close out, because we've got 9 minutes left, but before we close out, Tina, tell us, okay, what one of your favorite quotes is, so we can hear what your passion. Give us one of your favorite quotes. Putting you on the spot.
My
there.
favorite quote. I'm a spiritual person, and my favorite quote is, "I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me."
I love that. I love that. And that is fantastic, because I live by that every day myself. Now, who has been your inspiration? Now, I know what your inspiration was and what led you to go. You got laid off and like that. But is there anybody in particular that inspired you and to ignite this passion for what you do?
Yes, my friend Paulette Esposito, who was my boss at one time in a former job, who always pushed me. I went to college because of her. She's a minister, married me and my second husband.
Oh, I love it.
We've always been in each other's lives throughout the years. She now lives in Idaho. And as a matter of fact, I posted today, I had posted that I was going to be on this radio show. She reacted to it, loves it, has always been there for me. And I just love her to death because of her. I'm inspired by everything she's done in her life and what she's accomplished. And she's such a sweet person, wonderful, loving woman.
See, that's nice. We all need one of them. I think we all have one that has either pushed us, inspired us, or who's been there, or even mentored us to the positions that we're at today. And I think it's amazing, because women empowering women, not to leave the men out, because I have, and I know you do too, Tina. You have a man in your life who, for those of us second time arounders here, who inspires you, pushes you, and just lets you be who you are, which is so key. And I know you've met my husband as well, that same thing. So it's very, very key. Now we're going to jump onto, we've got about 2 minutes left with Tina, but we're going to, before we let her go and let her give us how you can contact her, how she can help you, how she can get you to find your passion. Okay. Before we do that, we have to tell us, okay, what is your favorite cocktail? Because we will be posting this on our site and on our social media. We always ask our guests what their favorite cocktail, and it could be non-alcoholic, alcoholic, whatever. What is your favorite cocktail?
I love margaritas. That's my favorite cocktail.
I like that. So I'm thinking that
with
Patron,
salt or without salt?
With salt.
Okay.
There you go. See, I'm a non-salter, but that's okay. That, you know what I mean? As long as my glass is not empty, I'm good.
I had to ask that, because some people are like, oh, no salt. And it's like, well, it's lava salt. And then it's different because it's lava salt. So it's like, I laugh.
Right. Well, as long as you got a good Patron and a tequila, that's really, really good. We're talking. But now we have a few more minutes left. Tina, I want to thank you so much for being our guest today. And I know it's this, a brief half an hour is never enough time to really fully delve into what we like to do here on our show is, expose the beautiful people that, you are and give them a teaser as to what, what we've got out there, what is out there for them. And you certainly have a service that will certainly help a lot of people. So please tell us and our listening audience at boldradiostation.com how people can get in touch with you. Give us your social media, your website, all of that.
Okay, so my website is www.lifeisideal.com, and you can sign in and get your my free offer of 7 steps to living a life with freedom and happiness. So go check out my website. You can also contact me on my website. You can also go to my Facebook business page, which is also Life is Ideal, and I have videos and different resources there that I offer to my audience. And my email, tkadishcoach@gmail.com, is also another place to connect with me. And I am on Twitter, Tina Cad. I'm on Instagram as well. And that's it for social media platforms that I'm on. And then you can connect with me.
My next question is, Tina, that I usually love to ask. Tell the audience what makes you beautiful, because I know what makes you beautiful. Yes. By talking to you and meeting you for the first, meeting you in 2016 for the first time. But what makes you beautiful?
What makes me beautiful, I believe, is that I'm ambitious, I'm driven, and I really want to always grow. I'm a what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always learning. So I'm always trying to learn something new. There's always something new to learn. And yes, I love that about myself.
And you know what? That is so wonderful to hear somebody say, I love that about myself. And that's why we throw that question out there, because it's so important to love yourself and be able to show that. And you're certainly not only with what you do, but the person that you are in person as well. That it definitely shines through. So Tina, we want to thank you again for being our guest on the We Are Beautiful radio show. And
thank you, Tina.
Yes, and you can get in touch with Tina at www.lifeisideal.com, correct?
Yes.
Yes, so that is her website. And Tina, you have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, both of you, Karen and Irene, for having me on the show. It's an honor.
Oh, well, fantastic. And it was an honor for us. Thank you. Now, if any of you want to... Yes. Now, if any of you want to get a hold of her, I would say reach out. Tina is fabulous to work with. She is fabulous, not only in what she does, but how she presents herself. And, it's really a great time to, explore your passion. What is your
Absolutely.
passion?
Absolutely.
And this is the beginning of the year, right, Irene?
Yeah.
So
well, it's a new month. It's a new month. It's what, 27, 28 days?
Yeah.
So, and each day is a new day. And I agree with you. Absolutely.
It absolutely is. So from now on, now we have to remember that her favorite cocktail is a margarita. So we'll be posting our margarita on Friday for our happy hour. But what do we've got coming up next? Do you have I know we have another show. We were off last week due to some technical difficulties on our end.
And the weather.
That was the big blizzard, right?
Yeah.
But we will be back again next week. Now we promised to give you last week. Our guest was Samari Polnett. And she has got a beautiful movement for all kinds of people. She is a licensed clinical therapist, but she has a beautiful movement that she is going to talk to us about. And she is going to bring that to our radio show next week. And it'll be an exciting time. But for now, we've got less than a minute. So Irene, what do you have to tell our listeners?
You are beautiful, and always ring in your beautiful. Absolutely. Every day is a new day. And thank you for listening in today with our beautiful host, Karen Thomas, and our wonderful guest, Tina. And until next week.
Have a wonderful week. You are beautiful, ladies and men and gentlemen.
Yes.
All righty. Until next week, we will catch you then on We Are Beautiful Magazine radio show. Have a great week, everybody.
Thank you for joining us today. Be sure to stop on by next week for more beautiful voices on Bold Radio.